Welcome back to KXAN News. Weight loss drugs, also known as GLP-1s, have been growing in popularity over the past few years. And now, a recent study published by the American Society of Clinical Oncology is looking at how these drugs could impact the progression of certain types of cancers.
Joining us today is Dr. David Winter with Baylor Scott White Internal Medicine. Dr. Winter, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your time.
Good to be with you.
Of course. All right, let's just first start with some background here. People who are watching right now, what exactly is a GLP-1 drug? What was the intent to begin with?
Yeah, so there's a group of drugs. You've heard them before: Ozempic, Wegovy, Rybelsus, Mounjaro, Zepbound. All of those work to help people lose weight, also help control diabetes. Now, they work by two different mechanisms. One, there's this hormone in our body that they turn down so you don't get as hungry as much. And also they slow down your intestines so you get full quicker and you stay full longer. People tell me they still like to eat, but they just get full quicker. So they work very, very well thus far for both of those conditions.
Well, now we have this study which talks about how these kinds of drugs could also have an impact on some obesity-related cancers. Tell us, what is it that they found out?
Yeah, so actually before this conference that you talked about, we had noticed that people that took these drugs seem to have less cancer than folks who didn't take the drugs. And what they found out, and this was in Chicago last week, many studies, in fact, more than 24 studies showed that if you took these drugs, you were less likely to get cancer, indeed. Also, if you had cancer, the drugs to treat cancer worked better if you were also taking these. You would live longer and have less chance of these cancers spreading in our body. So wonderful things they're doing right now for a large variety of cancers.
Can we touch a little bit about some of those cancers that you're talking about, the large variety? What are you seeing in the studies? And is it a result of people who are not eating as much, being full from the effects of that drug, or is it something else that's contributing to this lower rate?
Yeah, the cancers we're talking about are cancers of the breast, cancer of the lung, the stomach, the liver, the kidneys, for men, prostate, and for women, cancer of the uterus. All those seem to do better if you're taking these drugs. Now, we don't know exactly how they're working. We don't think it's just because people lose weight, because that doesn't seem to be a factor. But we do know that people that have inflammation in their bodies for any reason more likely to get cancer, and these drugs all decrease inflammation. They also seem to help with insulin resistance, and that's a factor. They may also be working somehow with the biology of how tumors work, but more studies to come. A lot of research going on right now. We don't know exactly why they're helping with cancer.
Doctor, I just want to ask, where do researchers go from here? Are there still more questions that they'd like answered, or any follow-up studies?
Yeah, and in that conference you talked about last week, a lot of excitement about this, a lot of research, people talking to each other, and a lot of studies are ongoing right now. In fact, they're looking at all different types of new GLP-1 drugs that might even be better with cancer. A lot of answers to come. Right now, there's just a lot of research going on, but we don't know what's working, but we know that they are working for a lot of things. Also, I'll add, we also know that these drugs also decrease the chance of heart attacks, strokes, and kidney disease, and they may even cut back on dementia. So wonderful drugs doing a lot of wonderful stuff, and more research is going to have to tell us what they're actually doing.
And doctor, I'm sure as we know, with drugs come some side effects or some other issues that still need to be researched. Is there an argument for people who are saying that these are not good choices for those who may want it?
Well, it's a good point. Do they cause a lot of side effects? Most people have very minimal side effects. They may have a little nausea at first, maybe a little cramping, but I've had very few people have to get off the drugs for any of those side effect reasons. Now, long-term effects, if you're taking these and losing weight rapidly, your muscles could actually start to shrink and your skin start to shrivel. So you want to start lifting weights and exercise if you're taking them. Also, some people tend to lose hair. And so for those folks, there are other medicines we can use that can help combat that. So there are some negative side effects. They're pretty minimal. And the positive side effects, my goodness, less heart attacks, strokes, cancer, kidney disease, a lot of problems with these drugs.
Yeah, I've also heard some studies talk about how it even helps with addiction as well. So yeah, as you mentioned, things to look at. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate that insight.
Yes, good to be with you. Thank you.
Have a good one.